Your behavior is disruptive, ma'am. We may need to deplane you.
I am not disruptive. I am merely asserting my rights as a paying customer.
Few people froze. A few pretended not to hear. Maria kept her eyes on the screen. Her hands stayed still. Ryan leaned closer. Too close. You move slow, he said. That's what happens when you age out. This place needs energy. Maria smelled his cologne. Strong. Cheap. She swallowed. I'm doing my job, she said. Ryan smiled. It wasn't kind. Barely, he said. You know what happens to people who can't keep up. Someone coughed. Someone laughed once, then stopped. Ryan tapped her desk. Maybe it's time you thought about retiring. Before someone makes that choice for you. Maria looked up. His eyes were cold. Certain. Her chest tightened. Her face stayed calm. I'll think about it, she said. Ryan straightened. Smug. Good, he said. Because this company doesn't wait for old people. He walked away. Maria sat there, heart pounding, hands shaking under the desk. No one spoke. No one defended her. And that's when her phone buzzed. One message. One line. Board visit confirmed. I arrive tomorrow at 9 a.m. Maria locked the screen. Slowly. And for the first time she smiled. Because Ryan had no idea who he had just threatened. Maria arrived early. She always did. The office lights were still dim. The air smelled like coffee and carpet cleaner. She set her bag down and opened her laptop. Emails. Metrics. Notes. Nothing out of place. By 9 the room filled. Chairs rolled. Screens blinked on. Ryan arrived last. Loud. Morning, team, he said. Let's make today count. His eyes scanned the room. They stopped on Maria. She felt it. That pause. Ryan smiled. Maria, he said. Still with us? A few people looked down. I'm here, she said. For now, Ryan replied. Good. He walked past her desk slowly. Some people struggle to keep pace, he said. Especially when they've been working since dinosaurs roamed. A laugh. Quick. Nervous. Maria's jaw tightened. She stayed quiet. Ryan turned. You know I'm kidding, he said. Sort of. He leaned closer. But speed matters. Youth matters. He tapped her desk. And this place doesn't slow down. I meet my numbers, Maria said. Ryan raised an eyebrow. Barely, he said. And attitude matters too. He straightened. Conference room. 10 minutes. He walked away. Maria's hands shook. She folded them. Breathed in. Around her no one spoke. A coworker glanced at her, then looked away. 10 minutes later, Ryan stood at the screen. Charts flashed behind him. Performance, he said. Let's talk about it. He clicked. Numbers appeared. Some of you adapt, he said. Some resist change. His eyes locked on Maria. Change keeps companies alive, he said. Resistance kills them. Maria felt heat rise in her face. I follow procedure, she said. Ryan laughed. There it is, he said. Old thinking. The word hung. Old. I've been doing this longer than you, Maria said. And that's the problem, Ryan snapped. You think experience beats innovation. He stepped forward. Let me be clear, he said. This isn't personal. No one believed him. This is about fit, he continued. Culture. He smiled again. Some people just don't fit anymore. Maria swallowed. Are you threatening me? She asked. Ryan tilted his head. I'm warning you, he said. As a leader. Silence filled the room. Ryan clicked to the next slide. Moving on. The meeting ended fast. People rushed out. Maria stayed seated. Her chest felt tight. Her phone buzzed. She didn't check it yet. Ryan stopped by her desk again. My office, he said. Now. She stood. Every step felt heavy. His office door closed behind them. Ryan sat. He didn't offer her a seat. I'm concerned, he said. HR is concerned. About what? Maria asked. Adaptability, he said. Longevity. He leaned back. You're expensive, he added. And replaceable. Maria's heart pounded. You can't talk to me like this, she said. Ryan smiled. I can, he said. And I am. He folded his hands. We'll do a full review, he said. Soon. Maria stared at him. When? She asked. Ryan checked his calendar. Tomorrow morning, he said. 9 a.m. He paused. Be prepared, he said. This could decide everything. Maria nodded. She turned to leave. Behind her, Ryan spoke softly. Time catches everyone, he said. Especially people like you. Maria opened the door. And stepped out. Her phone buzzed again. She looked. Tomorrow. 9 a.m. board arrival confirmed. She closed her eyes and smiled. Maria arrived at her desk early again. The office smelled of printer ink and recycled coffee. Her heart thumped. Ryan was already there, scrolling through spreadsheets on his tablet. "Morning," he said without looking up. Maria nodded. "Morning." He finally met her eyes. "Cold. Calculating. Did you review the new system?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "I'm ready." He smirked. "Ready or just polite? There's a difference. Some people think politeness is enough. That's not how corporations survive." Maria's hands clenched under the desk. She stayed calm. "I follow procedure," she said. Ryan leaned closer. "Procedure? That's your safety blanket. Doesn't impress leadership." A coworker dropped a pen. The sound echoed. Ryan didn't flinch. He tapped his tablet. "I called HR. They'll review your performance metrics." Maria's stomach tightened. "I expected that." Ryan smiled thinly. "Good. You should. It helps to know what people really think about you." He paused. "Honestly, Maria, we value fresh ideas. People with energy. People who move. You're slow." Maria met his gaze. "Slow? Experienced," he said quickly. "Yes. But sometimes experience is just old habits. Old thinking. Old methods. You get the idea." He leaned back, tapping the tablet. "HR wants your reports by noon. All of them. Full audit. Every project. And the new system logs. I don't want excuses. I want facts." Maria nodded. "Understood." Ryan smirked. "You'll probably miss something. That's normal for your age bracket." Heat rose in Maria's chest. She didn't answer. Silence was her shield. Ryan clicked to a slide behind him. Bold letters, performance review, urgent. "Tomorrow," he said, "we meet with the board. They'll decide if you continue here." Maria's throat tightened. "Board," she whispered. Ryan tilted his head. "Yes. They're visiting early. I wanted you ready." Maria took a deep breath. Her hands trembled. "I'll be ready," she said. Ryan's lips curved into a thin smile. "Good. Because you might not get another chance." A new tension rippled through the office. Coworkers shifted uneasily. They knew something was coming, but none of them spoke. Ryan straightened. "I hope you understand the stakes. This isn't just numbers. It's culture. Fit. Future. And people like you." He paused. "Don't usually fit." Maria's mind raced. Every word, every pause, every glance was a test. She could see it. He wanted fear. He wanted hesitation. He wanted her to fold. She didn't. Ryan's phone buzzed. He glanced at it. "Perfect timing," he said. "HR confirms your audit is due in less than 12 hours. Not tomorrow. Today. Right now, if possible." Maria swallowed. "Understood," she said. He tapped his tablet again. "You'll probably find it challenging. It's okay. Everyone struggles with deadlines." His eyes lingered. "Predatory. Especially people like you." Maria felt the heat rise again. Her pulse jumped. But beneath the tension, a spark flickered. Calm. Resilience. She had seen this before. The office clock ticked. She didn't move. Ryan's smirk widened. "Consider this a fair warning," he said. "One mistake, one late submission, one misstep." He tapped the tablet. "And it's over. You understand me?" Maria nodded. "Yes." Ryan finally looked away. "Good. I want nothing less than total compliance. You're lucky I'm giving you this chance. Most people don't get it." The door clicked open. One of the younger employees peeked in. Maria, they're asking for your login credentials for the new platform." Ryan glared. "Exactly what I said. Don't waste time explaining. Just provide it." Maria closed her eyes for a brief second. Then she did what she had to. She logged in, uploaded files, double-checked every metric. Every project. Every log. Ryan hovered, breathing down her neck. Silence weighed heavy. Half an hour later, he leaned back, satisfied. "Not bad," he said. "But tomorrow, the board will see. And they'll judge you." Maria's hands hovered over the keyboard. She didn't respond. She didn't need to. Ryan's eyes narrowed. "Remember," he said quietly, almost a hiss, "time catches everyone. Especially people who think experience can replace energy." Maria's chest tightened. The tension was unbearable. Her phone buzzed again. One message. One line. "Board arriving 9 a.m. Prepare accordingly." Maria's lips curved into the tiniest smile. Ryan didn't see it, because he still had no idea who he was threatening. The door opened abruptly. Ryan's expression changed. Someone was entering the office. Maria looked up. Her heart skipped a beat. And the chapter ended on a cliffhanger. The office hummed with muted whispers. Maria returned to her desk, eyes scanning the room. Every glance felt like a test. Every breath heavy. Her phone buzzed again. Another message. Be careful. People are watching. She tucked it away. Ryan reappeared at the door, clipboard in hand. Maria, he said, voice low but sharp. Some of your team members have concerns. Maria froze. Concerns? Yes. About performance. Adaptability. Fit. Compliance. Her jaw tightened. You're speaking of me? Ryan smiled thinly. Indirectly. But yes. Let's be clear. The board doesn't like surprises. A coworker dropped a paper stack. It clattered to the floor. Heads turned. No one helped. Ryan glanced at the group. See, he said. Chaos. Unreliability. Frustration. You're part of the problem. Maria's heart pounded. Her fingers itched. She wanted to speak. She wanted to defend herself. But she didn't. Instead, she noticed something else. A young employee hovering near the printer. Eyes flicking nervously between Ryan and Maria. Phone in hand. Ryan noticed too. Planning to record this? He asked. Voice low, threatening. The employee froze. No, he stammered. Ryan's smirk widened. Good. Some people don't understand boundaries. Maria felt a twist of anger and fear. Witnesses mattered. They could help or hurt. Ryan turned back to her. Your performance logs? I want them summarized by noon. No excuses. HR will review. And remember, everyone's watching. Every misstep counts. Maria nodded. Yes. He left the room, and the whispers returned. Did you see that? One coworker said under her breath. Yeah, she's brave, another whispered back. Maria glanced at them. She didn't smile. She couldn't. Not yet. Minutes later, she noticed someone else quietly slipping a note onto her desk. I saw everything. Don't be alone tomorrow. She folded it carefully. Her eyes flicked toward the door. Ryan re-entered, this time accompanied by a mid-level manager. Maria, he said, HR needs to ensure everything is in order. They'll want statements from witnesses. From your peers. That includes anyone who interacted with you today. Her chest tightened. She felt the office shrink around her. The manager cleared his throat. Don't take this personally, he said. We just need documentation. Maria stared at him. This isn't personal? He hesitated. No, just policy. Ryan's eyes locked onto hers. Policy is neutral, he said. Reality isn't. Her pulse raced. The tension in the room was thick, almost visible. She noticed the young employee again. Phone in hand, trembling. He glanced at her. Maria gave a subtle nod. One of solidarity. One of strategy. Ryan noticed nothing. Everyone who has concerns, he said, voice loud now, will be interviewed. And all statements will be taken seriously. You understand me? Maria swallowed. Yes. Ryan's smirk didn't leave. Good. Now continue with your work. Don't get distracted. Others are evaluating you. As he left, she heard a whisper behind her. Be careful. They're all watching. Maria folded her hands over her keyboard. Her eyes flicked across the office. People were uneasy. Afraid. Silent. But observing. Her mind raced. The stakes were higher now. The room itself had become a battlefield. Minutes later, a knock at her cubicle. She looked up. A coworker stepped forward, hands slightly shaking. I saw him. The way he treated you. I don't agree. But if you want, I can say something. Maria studied the face. Fear and guilt were tangled in the expression. Courage hiding behind compliance. Thank you, she said quietly. That might help. The coworker nodded, then scurried away. Maria exhaled slowly. The whispers and side glances didn't stop. They intensified. She could feel the weight of observation pressing down. Ryan would find out. He always noticed. Her phone buzzed again. One line. They're recording. Be ready. Her lips curved slightly. Calm. Calculated. The office clock ticked louder than ever. The door opened. HR entered. Ryan's smirk returned, wider this time. Maria's chest tightened. And the chapter ended on a cliffhanger. The office smelled of printer paper and fear. Maria sat at her desk, hands clasped. HR had arrived, and the tension was thick enough to choke on. Ryan stood beside her, tapping his pen against the desk. "Maria," he said, "you understand why this review is necessary, right?" "Yes," she said, steady. He leaned in, voice quiet but cutting. "Good. Because this isn't personal. It's the system." Maria nodded. HR's representative, a woman in a sharp gray suit, opened a folder. "Thank you for meeting with us," she said. "We're conducting a standard performance review. Every report, every log, every project will be evaluated." Maria's chest tightened. "Understood." The HR woman glanced at Ryan. "Is everything ready for the audit?" Ryan smiled thinly. "Everything is in order. Except sometimes people resist transparency." Maria kept her eyes on the folder. He added, voice low, "Especially people who've been around too long." The HR rep glanced at Maria, then down at her notes. "Mr. Carter," she said, "we need clarity on these discrepancies. Can you explain?" Ryan waved a hand. "These are minor. Performance variance. But we have to follow procedure." Maria felt the weight of it. Procedure was precise, neutral. But reality was different. Reality punished people like her, experienced, competent, black, underestimated. Ryan's eyes locked on hers. Some variance is acceptable. But not if it becomes a pattern. She stayed quiet. Silence was her armor. The HR rep looked at her. "Maria, any comments?" She shook her head. "Everything is accurate," she said. Ryan smirked. "Of course." The HR woman wrote notes. Then she looked up. "Thank you. We'll review your statements. And then the board will make a determination." Her words were calm, neutral. But the implication was lethal. Maria could feel it. Every glance in the room weighed her down. Minutes dragged. Ryan hovered. "Remember," he said, voice quiet now, "the system works. People like you often don't." Maria's fingers clenched. Her pulse raced. A coworker cleared her throat. I saw everything yesterday," she said softly. I can confirm the interactions." Ryan's head snapped toward her. "And you," he said, voice tight. "Are you implying someone is breaking protocol?" "No," the coworker said quickly. "Just reporting facts." Ryan's jaw tightened. "Facts. I see." He turned back to Maria. "See how the system works," he said. "People testify. HR evaluates. Management decides. You play the game or you don't survive." Maria exhaled slowly. She felt the office walls shrink, the air compress. Her phone buzzed. Another message. "Be ready. They're watching your every move." Maria's lips curved slightly. "Calm. Controlled. Strategic." Ryan smirked again. "You understand," he said, "that this is a learning opportunity. For you." Maria's eyes didn't leave his. "Yes. I understand." Ryan stepped back, satisfied. "Good. HR will finish here soon. But remember, reality isn't fair. It's the system that protects some and crushes others." A silence fell over the room. One by one, co-workers returned to their desks, heads down, avoiding her eyes. Fear was contagious. Ryan finally left. HR followed. Maria stayed seated, breathing slowly. She reviewed the notes again. Every project, every metric, every interaction recorded. She realized how stacked the deck was. The system, policies, procedures, forms, audits looked neutral. But it wasn't. It favored people like Ryan. People with authority. People who could manipulate perception. And yet, it could also be used against them. Her phone buzzed once more. One line. "Evidence is ready. Tomorrow, board sees everything." Maria's heart lifted slightly. Calm determination replaced tension. Someone knocked softly. A young employee peeked in, eyes wide. "They're recording you," he whispered. "Everything. Cameras, logs. I mean it. Be careful." Maria nodded. "Thank you," she said. He left quickly. The office seemed larger now, but no less dangerous. Ryan reappeared unexpectedly, clipboard in hand. "I hope you're keeping track of your notes," he said. "System works. You'll see that soon." Maria swallowed. "Yes," she said. He smirked, leaning closer. "Remember, people often fail because they don't respect the process. They think knowledge alone protects them. But the system always wins." Maria's hands tightened into fists under the desk. Ryan straightened and walked away. The clock ticked louder than ever. Maria's phone buzzed again. One message. "Tomorrow. Board arrives 9 a.m. Everyone will know the truth." She exhaled slowly. The camera of her mind was already rolling. Evidence ready. Witnesses prepared. Truth on her side. The tension had shifted. She wasn't powerless. Not yet. And the chapter ended on a cliffhanger. Maria walked through the office with calm precision. Every step measured. every glance intentional. The air felt heavier than usual. Whispers curled around her like smoke. Her phone buzzed. One message. Board arriving early. Be ready. She slipped it into her pocket. No one noticed. In the corner, a coworker glanced at her nervously. Are you okay? They asked quietly. Maria gave a small nod. I'm fine. Focus on your work. Ryan appeared at the end of the row, clipboard in hand. Maria, he said, voice sharp. I hope you're aware of the stakes. I am, she replied. He smiled thinly. Good. Because ignorance won't save anyone. Especially people who've been here too long. Maria kept walking. Her mind replayed every interaction, every insult, every calculated jab. Every move Ryan made was deliberate. To intimidate. To make her doubt herself. She passed the conference room. The door was closed, but she could hear faint voices inside. Her heart skipped. She stopped. Listened. Do you think she'll survive the board? A voice whispered. Not a chance, another replied. Maria exhaled slowly. They didn't know. They had no idea. She reached her office. Locked the door. Pulled out a folder she had hidden in her drawer for months. Thick. Organized. Labeled. Ownership and corporate records. Her hands trembled slightly as she flipped through it. Contracts. Board resolutions. Audit trails. Ownership stakes. Evidence of her role in the company's founding. Every move she had ever made meticulously documented. Ryan thought she was just another employee. He didn't know she was one of the franchise owners. The thought made her smile faintly. Her phone buzzed again. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Be ready. Evidence on your side. Maria glanced out the window. She could see the street below. People rushing. Cars honking. A world moving too fast for some. Ryan's voice cut through her thoughts. Maria, a word? She turned. He was leaning against the doorframe, clipboard in hand, a smirk curling his lips. I hope you're keeping track of your notes, he said. You never know when a slip-up might cost you. Maria met his gaze calmly. I am. Every step. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. Remember, people like you often underestimate authority. They think experience gives them protection. But it doesn't. Not here. Not now. Maria tilted her head slightly. And people like you often forget who they're dealing with, she replied softly. Ryan's eyes narrowed. He didn't recognize the weight behind her words. Yet. He leaned back. Well, we'll see tomorrow, he said. The board will judge you. Your future may not be secure. Maria watched him leave. Calm. Controlled. Strategic. She returned to her drawer, pulling out another folder labeled Board Preparation Materials. Legal documents. Witness statements. Recorded interactions. Proof of compliance, and proof of every lie Ryan had spun. Her pulse raced. Every detail was crucial. Every paper could tip the scales. She spread them across the desk, double-checked timelines, confirmed dates. The door clicked. A coworker peeked in nervously. They're recording everything, they whispered. Cameras, emails, even your interactions. Be careful. Maria nodded subtly. I know. They scurried away. She exhaled. The office felt alive with tension. Every glance, every murmur, every keyboard click was a reminder. People were watching. But she wasn't afraid. Not now. Minutes later, her phone buzzed again. One line. Witnesses are ready. Board sees all tomorrow. Trust the process. Her lips curved into the tiniest smile. Calm. Determined. Outside, Ryan passed her window. Unaware. Confident. Arrogant. He didn't know that the very system he was using to intimidate her, the policies, the audits, the procedures, could now be used against him. He didn't know. And that was the power Maria held. Her phone buzzed once more. Another message. Everything in place. Tomorrow changes everything. Maria's chest tightened, not with fear, but anticipation. She looked at her folders. Evidence. Ownership. Witness statements. Compliance records. The truth meticulously assembled. The room felt smaller, charged with electricity. She could almost hear the heartbeat of the office itself. Her hands rested on the desk. Calm. Controlled. The chapter ended on a cliffhanger. The next day, the board would arrive. And Ryan still had no idea who he had underestimated. The conference room was bright, almost blinding. Maria walked in first. Calm. Collected. Folders under her arm. Evidence ready. Every witness coordinated. Every document precise. Ryan followed, smug, clipboard in hand. Confidence radiated from him. The board would see a compliant employee, someone slow but loyal. That was his plan. He didn't know. The board filed in. Executives in tailored suits. eyes sharp, scanning. Not one wasted glance. Ryan cleared his throat. "Thank you for coming," he said. "We're here to review Maria Henderson's performance metrics." Maria didn't flinch. She placed her folders on the table. "Good morning," she said. "Calm. Steady. Eyes meeting each board member." "I'm ready." Ryan's smirk faltered. "Slightly. Let's begin," a board member said. "Ryan, please summarize your concerns." Ryan clicked through slides. Charts. Metrics. Numbers stacked like bricks. "Some projects were delayed," he said. "Some processes not followed precisely. Culture fit is questionable. And," he glanced at Maria, "some people struggle to adapt to change." He smiled thinly. "Especially those with more experience." A whisper ran through the room. Not subtle. Observed. Calculated. Maria remained silent. "Calm. Any comments?" the board asked. She opened her folders. Evidence first. Clear. Legal. Precise. Documentation of every project. Every decision. Every log Ryan had monitored and twisted. "Here," she said, pointing to one set of reports. Every project milestone met. Every report submitted. Every log updated accurately. Witnesses can confirm. Ryan stiffened. "What witnesses?" he asked. Maria slid a folder forward. "Names, statements, recordings. Every interaction has been documented. Every concern raised was addressed immediately. The system worked as it should." Ryan's smirk vanished. Board members exchanged glances. "Evidence," one of them asked. Maria nodded. "Yes. Contracts, board resolutions, internal audits. Ownership records. Everything. Including details of my role in the franchise. You'll see that some decisions I made were crucial to company survival." Ryan's face drained of color. "You," he stammered. "I didn't know." Maria didn't interrupt. She let the truth speak. Silence filled the room. Heavy. Cinematic. Electric. A board member leaned forward. "Is this accurate?" Maria handed over the documents. "Yes. Every detail. I've also prepared witness statements confirming my compliance and professionalism. And," she paused, letting the room absorb it, "including documentation of every misrepresented comment made by management regarding my performance." Ryan's jaw tightened. "Misrepresented?" "Yes," Maria said. "You claimed I was slow, unfit, resistant to change. I provided evidence to the contrary, including timelines, email correspondence, project logs, and eyewitness statements." Board members flipped through the materials. Their expressions shifted from curiosity to disbelief. Ryan fumbled for words. "Well, Maria's eyes met his. "Calm. Cold. Certain. The facts speak for themselves," she said. One board member spoke finally. "It appears that management misrepresented critical information, and that this employee," they looked at Maria, "not only complied but excelled. Evidence suggests systemic intimidation, misuse of authority, and bias." The room was quiet. Ryan swallowed. Words failed him. Maria reached for her next folder. HR reports, recordings, and correspondence highlighting the threats, deadlines, and coded language Ryan had used. Board members scanned them. One executive raised an eyebrow. "This changes everything," they said. Ryan tried to interject. "I was just enforcing protocol." Maria shook her head slightly. "Protocol," she said softly, "that you manipulated to intimidate and misrepresent." A long pause. The board members shared a look. Decisions were forming. Justice teetering. Finally one spoke. "Ryan Carter, your conduct will be reviewed. Disciplinary action is warranted based on this evidence. Further steps will include HR and legal evaluation." Ryan's face went pale. "No, this is impossible," he muttered. Maria didn't flinch. Calm. Collected. Victory tempered by patience. A whisper ran through the room. "The system works. Sometimes the system protects truth." Ryan looked at her, disbelief and fury clashing in his eyes. You had all of this?" Maria nodded once. "I prepared. You underestimated me." The board stood. "This meeting is adjourned. Further legal review will commence immediately. Ms. Henderson's performance is exemplary. Management will be held accountable for misuse of authority." Ryan's shoulders slumped. The smirk gone. The aura of control evaporated. Maria exhaled. Calm. She had done it, but the cost was clear. Every glance, every whispered comment, every tense heartbeat over months had left marks. The office outside the conference room felt different. Charged. Awed. Her phone buzzed. Another message. Truth exposed. Board sees all. Justice underway. Maria looked at Ryan one last time. Experience isn't weakness, she said quietly. It's the truth. And you forgot that. The board members filed out. Ryan stayed behind alone, humiliated but not fully aware of the extent of consequences yet. Maria gathered her folders, calm, resolute. And the chapter ended on a cliffhanger. Tomorrow, legal consequences would begin. Institutional change was imminent. And Ryan had only begun to realize the storm he had provoked. The office felt unusually still the next morning. Maria arrived early, folders in hand. Cameras in the hall recorded every entrance. Everyone was on edge. The whispers from yesterday had spread like wildfire. Ryan was already there, his posture rigid, confidence cracking at the edges. "Morning," he said, voice forced. Maria nodded. "Come." "Morning." HR had requested another meeting. The board had demanded additional witness testimonies. Every employee who had seen Ryan's intimidation would speak today. Ryan tapped his pen against the desk. "Maria," he said, eyes flicking toward the door. "Hope you're ready. They'll want the full story." "I am," she said simply. He smirked thinly. "You never know who will speak. Some people exaggerate. Some twist facts." Maria didn't respond. She didn't need to. Silence was louder than words. One by one, witnesses arrived. A young employee stepped forward, voice shaking but firm. I saw him push deadlines unfairly. Threaten Maria about performance." Ryan's face twitched. "That's out of context," he said quickly. The employee shook their head. "No. It's exactly as it happened." Another coworker spoke. Repeatedly. In front of others. Coded language. Age comments. Constant pressure. Ryan opened his mouth. Closed it. Flustered. Maria stayed calm. Every statement reinforced the truth she had built. Every word chipped away at Ryan's constructed authority. The board listened intently, taking notes. Their expressions shifted from curiosity to concern. One HR representative cleared her throat. "We've reviewed all internal records. Emails, performance logs, compliance reports. Everything aligns with witness statements. Misuse of authority is evident." Ryan tried to interject. "I was just enforcing policy." Maria shook her head slightly. "Policy was weaponized," she said softly. "Not followed to uphold fairness, but to intimidate and misrepresent my performance." A board member glanced at Ryan. "You've created an environment of fear. Evidence shows deliberate targeting of a competent employee. Misrepresentation of facts. Abuse of authority." Ryan's face drained of color. This is impossible," he muttered. Maria remained still. Calm. Collected. A final witness stepped forward. "I recorded interactions. Audio. Emails. Everything. It confirms intimidation. Manipulation. Threats." The board member held the evidence. "This is damning. Your position will be reviewed. Legal consequences are likely." Ryan's smirk vanished completely. His shoulders slumped. The weight of exposure pressing down on him. Maria's phone buzzed. One line. "Everything is recorded. Board sees all. Accountability is coming." Her lips curved faintly. Victory tempered by exhaustion. She looked at Ryan. "You thought I was vulnerable. That silence meant submission. You were wrong." Ryan opened his mouth. No words came. A board member addressed him firmly. "Effective immediately, disciplinary action begins. HR will initiate legal review. All management misconduct is being documented." Ryan turned, almost pleading. "This can't be happening," he whispered. Maria met his eyes. "Calm. Controlled. Certain. The system caught up to you," she said softly. "And you underestimated truth." The witnesses left. HR finalized documentation. Every action recorded, every abuse accounted for. Outside the room, coworkers stopped. Some looked relieved. Others awed. Maria's calm presence had commanded respect. Her phone buzzed again. One final line. Exposure complete. Justice underway. She exhaled slowly. The cost of months of intimidation was heavy. Trauma lingered, but resilience burned brighter. Ryan lingered behind, isolated. Alone. Humiliated. Fear replacing arrogance. Maria gathered her folders. She didn't gloat. She didn't need to. Truth and evidence had done the work. The office itself seemed to shift. Air lighter. Silent approval in unspoken glances. A culture beginning to change. Ryan turned to leave, defeated. The chapter ended on a cliffhanger. Tomorrow, the institutional consequences would fully unfold. Legal proceedings. HR action. Policy changes. And Maria would witness the final balance of justice. The office was quieter than usual. Maria walked through the hall, folders in hand. Co-workers watched her, not with fear, but with cautious respect. Ryan was absent, his desk empty. Whispers said HR had suspended him pending legal review. A murmur of relief floated through the office. Maria reached her desk and exhaled. The adrenaline had faded, replaced by a heavy, bittersweet exhaustion. Months of stress, intimidation, and silence weighed on her shoulders. A young employee approached nervously. "Ms. Henderson, thank you," they said quietly. "For what?" she asked. "For showing us the truth. For standing up. For not letting fear win." Maria nodded. "Fear isn't meant to control you. Evidence, patience, and resilience are stronger. Always." She looked around. The office had changed. People moved with a little more confidence, a little more space to breathe. Small smiles, subtle glances, trust returning. Her phone buzzed. One line. HR finalized disciplinary measures. Legal process ongoing. Culture shift confirmed. Maria exhaled again. Relief. Validation. Yet the emotional cost lingered. She remembered the stares. The silence. The whispers that didn't defend her. Months of humiliation, tension, and psychological pressure. Trauma that would not disappear overnight. Her reflection in the office window was tired, but determined. Lines of stress marked her face. Eyes sharp, aware. Lips curved slightly. A small smile, not triumph, but endurance. A coworker leaned over. You changed things. For all of us." Maria shook her head. "I just followed the truth. The system can work if it's used properly. If people are willing to see it." The office phone buzzed. Another board message. Policies revised. Accountability ensured. Corporate oversight active. Staff informed. Maria nodded. It was progress. Not perfect, but tangible. She walked toward the conference room. Her steps slow, purposeful. Inside, HR had posted notices. Policies clarified. Procedures adjusted. All documentation available to staff. Transparency replacing fear. Maria exhaled. The shift was subtle but undeniable. Her phone buzzed again. One last message. "You've done what most people can't. The cost is yours to carry, but so is the legacy." She looked around the office once more. Every glance from a coworker, every subtle nod, told her the story of survival and change. Maria sat at her desk, closed her folders, let herself breathe. Ryan's absence was a reminder. The system had worked. Abuse exposed. Authority held accountable. But the emotional scars remained. Trauma and resilience intertwined. Her reflection in the window blurred slightly as tears threatened. She blinked, pulled herself together. Strong. The office buzzed quietly. Life continued. Work resumed. But the weight of justice delivered lingered. And the chapter ended on a cliffhanger. Maria had achieved justice. But she now had to decide her next move. The boardroom was empty. Maria stood at the head of the table, folders stacked neatly. The sunlight streamed through the windows, highlighting the polished surfaces and casting long shadows. Her phone buzzed. One final message. All systems updated. Ryan removed from authority. Policies active. Accountability ensured. She exhaled slowly. Relief. Satisfaction. But also a quiet melancholy. Justice had been served, yet the cost remained. Coworkers began filtering in. Eyes lifted, cautious but respectful. A subtle energy of gratitude lingered in the room. A young employee approached nervously. "Ms. Henderson, you're really in charge now, aren't you?" Maria nodded. "Yes. But leadership isn't about titles. It's about responsibility." Ryan's name wasn't spoken. Not yet. But his absence was felt. The shadow of abuse he had cast over the office had been removed, replaced with accountability. She sat at the desk. Her reflection in the window showed lines of stress, a quiet determination, eyes still sharp. Resilience was etched into her expression. One by one, coworkers approached. They didn't kneel. They didn't flatter. They acknowledged. Respect, earned through courage and truth. Her phone buzzed again. Another note. Corporate culture shift complete. Your influence recognized. Legacy in motion. Maria smiled faintly. Legacy. Not revenge. Not humiliation. She had chosen accountability over retribution. Integrity over pride. She opened the ownership folder one last time. Contracts, board resolutions, and documents outlining her authority. Every decision she had made, every project she had led, every obstacle she had overcome, clear, documented, undeniable. The office buzzed with quiet energy. Policies had shifted. Processes clarified. Abuse of authority exposed. Cultural change underway. Maria stood. walked slowly through the hall, each step a reminder. Survival was not just enduring oppression, it was reclaiming power. Resilience was not just resistance, it was transformation. Her eyes met those of her co-workers. Some smiled, some nodded, subtle but meaningful gestures. They had witnessed strength in action. They had seen justice unfold. Outside the window, the city moved on. Cars honked. Pedestrians hurried. Life continued. But in this office, something permanent had changed. Maria's phone buzzed one last time. You've done what few could. The cost was high, but so is the impact. She exhaled. The office was quiet now. The tension lifted, replaced by a sense of balance. A delicate equilibrium between trauma and resilience, between loss and victory. Maria walked back to her desk. Saturday. Closed the folders. Let herself breathe. Ryan's absence was a reminder. Justice had been delivered. Institutional change confirmed. Policies revised. Accountability established. But the emotional cost lingered. She had survived humiliation, intimidation, and fear. She had endured psychological pressure and bias. The scars remained, quietly marking her resilience. She looked out the window one last time, light reflecting in her eyes. Calm, certain, prepared. She whispered to herself, I own this. Every part. The company. The truth. My resilience. Her phone buzzed one final time. No message. Silence. Maria leaned back, closed her eyes briefly, smiled faintly. Not triumphantly, but with the quiet satisfaction of a woman who had reclaimed her power. The office had been transformed. The culture shifted. Abuse exposed. Authority checked. Justice served. And in that moment, Maria Henderson, owner, leader, survivor, stood fully in her power. The story ended not with revenge, but with accountability. Not with domination, but with ownership. Not with victory over others, but with victory over fear, bias, and injustice. The chapter, and the story, closed on a note of bittersweet triumph.